The Against All Odds podcast, sponsored by Oak Forest Recovery.
Welcome to the Against All Odds podcast. I am your host, Rachel, here with co-host RJ, and we got our boy, Richie.
What's up,
in
y'all?
the building.
Richie Blair.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was Smith glass, too.
I'm like, so I hope that was caught. That was amazing. That was
We'll
impressive.
slow-mo
a
it.
little spidey sense, dude. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and then just went right into it. What's
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
Richie?
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, what's going on? I'm happy you're here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. It's
We're
good
about
see
to get
y'all.
into your story
Oh, I like
real
to party.
deep.
Let's get weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. What day is it? Thursday.
I just
Thursday.
asked that and I already forgot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
literally just asked that like 2 minutes
I don't know
ago.
what's
That's
going
where
on.
I'm at in life, you know?
You're from LA, right?
Born and raised.
Yeah.
I got a tattoo to like,
Yeah.
confirm it.
Yeah, really
Because if
like.
you don't, then it's like, how does anyone really
Right.
know? But yeah, born and raised Queen of Angels Hospital, which is no longer there or renamed. I think it's Hollywood Presbyterian now.
Mm.
Okay, boring.
But yeah,
So
legitimate.
born
LA,
in Hollywood.
Angelino. Yeah,
Amazing.
native.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there?
Oh man, who?
Yeah, let's start with Baby
knows?
Richie.
Oh,
Yeah,
Baby
Richie's story was pretty fucking crazy, I think, right?
It's I mean, it's a story. We all got a
Yeah.
story, right? You know,
Yeah.
I got mine. Single mom. She had just turned 19 when she had me.
Right.
And when I was born, she was convinced that I was going to end up being a girl. Actually, okay, so let's go back. She's pregnant, and she ends up trying to hide it from her parents because she's scared. She's 18.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
in
yeah,
high school.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Senior in high school. A little
Right.
freaked out about mom and dad's response.
Yeah.
Finally can't hide it any longer.
And dad was like a high school little fling that was like,
They were sweethearts.
okay.
Okay.
And so, high school relationship.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
That's
It's,
what I'm-
having at it. And so mom and dad find out, and they said, if you decide to keep it, you're out.
Whoa.
A little unorthodox, a little different.
Big.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
it is your guest this episode.
Wow.
And so they were
Wow.
not bluffing. They
Yeah.
dropped her off.
So
at-
grandparents were like, fucking had a gun to your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way.
Yeah.
to
I'm
just
say
saying.
no.
I'm just saying. Grandparents were just ready
Let's
to
get real, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was it. And because I think they just saw it differently,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was some sort of blemish or something.
They didn't want to ruin her life, and she wanted, yeah. I
That
get
was
it.
it.
It's a lot of normal expectations, I think, from parents.
I think people get a little
Yeah,
weird about
yeah, they
that.
get
You know,
freaked
there's
out.
like both sides, right? I think
Yeah.
some people are like, you are not giving that up. Like we
Mhm.
make do.
Right.
And then there's others that are like, we don't
Strong
want to know.
beliefs
Yeah.
around it. Yeah.
Big time. And so, so they dropped her off at St. Anne's home for unwed mothers and sort of put the suitcase down in the parking lot. Didn't even help her in. She was 6 months pregnant. And they said, hope you learned your lesson. And they pulled off. And she walked into a dormitory setting with about 60, 70 other young women. And
Wow.
every day the nuns came up to her and said, there's an infertile Catholic family that would love that child.
Wow.
And every
Was that
day-
like the purpose of that place mainly? Is like to get people to give their babies up for adoption to families who
I don't
wanted them?
know. I think it was just helping young women that
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
pregnant.
yeah.
And I
Okay.
don't know like
Yeah.
the angle. I'm sure there's angles.
Yeah.
There's all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. Like I'm sure,
Well, I'm
a
sure they
lot
were
of
looking
it
at it
was-
and they're like, okay, this is an 18, 19-year-old
Yeah,
girl
yeah.
that's got nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Family's disowned her. How is she going to raise this child? Maybe she doesn't want the pressure of it.
Yeah.
They're probably trying to just be helpful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think that was a big element. And after a while, she finally, she said, listen, sister, I forget like however long it had been. And she goes, listen, sister, I'll make a deal with you. If it's a girl, you can give her to that family, that Catholic family. And if it's a boy, I'm keeping him. And so I sort of won the coin toss on
Yeah.
that. Could have looked a lot different,
Yeah, yeah.
But that started our journey together. And what's interesting is when she went to the hospital, she was so convinced that
It was
going to be a girl.
Wow.
She didn't have clothes. She didn't have
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
She didn't have a car seat, nothing.
Wow.
And so all of a sudden it's a boy. And she's like, wait. So I came home. She kept it, the little like paper outfit that I was in. Like that's what I wore home.
Yeah.
And there was no car seat. She's walking out of the hospital holding me, looking back, waiting for someone to stop her.
Yeah.
Like, just like, you're just going to let
Is
me
this
have
allowed?
this
Yeah.
child. Like, I
Yeah.
just go into the world now. And that was it. I slept. It gets even crazier. I slept in the drawer of a dresser. Not like she didn't put it in, but like
Yeah.
she had nothing.
Yeah.
That was our beginnings. And it was
Yeah.
just the two of us. So that high school sweetheart was out of the picture immediately. He was like,
Yeah.
deuces.
Wow.
Yeah.
So everybody just
It was just
Peace
her
out.
and I versus
Yeah.
the world.
wow.
And so
And so she went back to that that, what was it, like a nunnery, or it was like
No,
it was like
no.
a dormitory living, or
It was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just St. Anne's. And like, what's funny is I talk about my story pretty frequently. And so people will come up to me and like, I'm a product of St. Anne's, or like they'll come up and like moms or sometimes children, and like my mom went through St. Anne's. And so, interesting. It's an interesting thing to hear, because I don't, beyond it being part of my story, I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that must have been like. But yeah, we had a fun time. My mom worked 2-3 jobs at a time. You know, I was a latchkey kid from 6 on. Like, I would just come home and I had a necklace with a key on it, and I'd let myself in, and it was weird. It was weird. We were always moving. Went to 3 different first grades, like always in a new apartment, just bouncing around. And I just can't imagine.
And like, was that her chasing jobs, or what was?
That was her just trying to keep up. You know, like just being 19, having a child, and then obviously, like, let's say I'm 6 years old, like she's 25. You know, like she's just a young person with no family support, no spouse or no partner. What do you do? And she does everything she can. So she's waiting tables, she's working 2-3 jobs, she's trying to put herself through school so she can like build a better future, and then somehow raising me at the same time. And so a lot of the times I was left to my own devices, you know. And so that's where, as got older, started introduced to, I wouldn't say like alcohol and drugs at that point, I would say more so, and granted that did start at like 10, but I would say prior to that, it was the adrenaline of like getting in trouble, stealing, going places I wasn't supposed to go. Like, I'm like 6-7 years old, catching a city bus, going to the mall, which like had no idea how to get there, but I'm just kind of like, here we go. And no one really questioning it because it's the 80s. And I'm at the mall, like trying to find a quarter so I can play something at the arcade. Like, and then just wandering and then getting into trouble, stealing things. You know, just a weird sort of setup. And I look back, it's so bizarre because I have children now, and I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old.
You can't even imagine.
Oh yeah.
You can't even imagine, right?
Like, they don't even help themselves to food. And I'm just like, I have to make everything. I'm like,
cereal.
You
just do the thing, you know? And then there's that part of me now that realizes I can't put my stuff on them, where I look at them and I'm like, you can't even fend for yourself. Like, we got to step this up. Like, and it's, wait a minute. I had to, out of like a survival kind of just what it was, a circumstantial kind of thing. And so it's good to remember, don't put my stuff on them, which is not easy, because sometimes I do. And that's part of parenthood. So, but yeah, so growing up was interesting. It was a lot of bouncing around. My mom was extremely loving, very encouraging, very strict, but fair.
Your mom's the best.
She's rad.
She's really cool.
She's a really cool person. That's right. You met her at the 10
year
event. That was last year.
Stuck with me. Yeah, I met her last year, and she's the best.
She's dancing.
We had a lot
fun.
She's
cool.
the best.
She's good people.
Yeah.
She lives in Ireland now. So she moved to Ireland. Actually, back then she came in town for that event. But she's been in Ireland permanently for 2 years. But she's been back and forth for 10, citizen, the whole bit. And then she finally got her spot just recently. Actually, I was out there July. Wow. She got the keys and everything and closed. And so she's got 17 acres in Ireland.
Oh my God. And that was her dream. That was like,
dude, what's funny is like, people are like, how can you leave your family and you got grandkids and this and that? And she's been a mom since 19.
She's
had
like,
my brother 13 years later. So she
Yeah.
ran it back and she's just been mom the whole time. Then my kids were born and she's helping out with the kids. And, you know, I just look at this mom life and how she sacrificed so much of her life to provide for our family. And here she is. She's always wanted to be in Ireland. And now, like, I FaceTime with her, with the kids frequently. She's glowing. She sends me a picture and I just see her. I'm like, you're where you're supposed to be. Like, I don't question. I miss her. I wish she was here. I wish I was there. I go out frequently, and she comes out frequently, but still, you know, it's just, but even I know she's supposed to be there. It's really cool. It's really cool to see her living it out.
That's rad, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 80s. You're 6, 7. You're getting in trouble. You're stealing. You're adrenaline junkie.
Yeah. Not very bright. You know, what's like number 2 pencil bright? Like, definitely like top percentile testing, but like just dumb as bricks. Like, the door says push, and I'm like, I bet you can pull this. I'm gonna give it a shot. And everyone's like, dude, what's up with you and shortcuts? And I just, I'm a work smarter, not harder type guy. You know, like, where's the come up? I'm gonna find that shortcut.
Listen, nobody wakes up one day and thinks, you know what'll be fun? Going to rehab. But sometimes life gets messy, and the bravest thing that you can do is admit that you need a reset.
At Oak Forest Recovery, we're not here to judge. We've been there. We know what it's like. We've been scared. We've been alone, using comedy and jokes to cover it all up. The good news is you don't have to do it alone. We have the tools, we've got the community, and we even have good coffee.
If you or someone you love is struggling, come see us. Healing doesn't have to be boring. It can even be fun, and we're here to help.
That backfires, once we get a little older, and there's sometimes it's just about consistency and hard work.
Yeah.
And that I'm always looking for the shortcut. And so, but in my youth, it worked really well. And I think I got sort of a misconception of how life works and how to operate, because I thought there's always an angle. And sometimes there's not an angle. Mm-hmm. And so now being, sober now and my age, it's like, sometimes it's just about the basics and staying in the basics. So, so you don't have to get back to them. But yeah, so 80s, getting in trouble, starting to come into my own, introduced to alcohol, 10. I think I remember 10-ish. Like, I don't remember my first drink.
By other kids in the neighborhood, or what was the vibes?
Family.
So
my uncle and my cousin was a year younger than me. And so his father, my uncle, he would let us drink. Mm-hmm. And so we'd have Jaeger, we'd have, pre-mixed whiskey sours, like beers, whatever. And it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like, hey, let's get wasted together. Yeah. It was just like, hey, if it's around, and so that was my introduction. I remember some of those earlier times, and I remember thinking like, ooh, like taste weird. It's kind of a Kool-Aid, Tang kind of kid. And Strawberry Quick when we had it like that, you know what I'm saying? Which was rare. And alcohol was not like any of those. Mm-hmm. But I'm a good little alcoholic. I practice. I don't give up and keep going, because I will say the effect, like feeling that was so good. Like that freedom, that release that comes from drinking, that exhale, like I just needed that. And straight Angela Bassett, like I guess, like just let me. And once I hit that, it was about, okay, how do we get there all the time? So that progressed. My mom somehow, some way, after various stints at community colleges in Ohio and here, PCC, and then she ended up getting into UCLA, lived in UCLA housing in West LA, and I met my best friend, Damian. His mom was a single mom going to UCLA, obviously, and he was a couple months apart in age. And we just instantly, like magnets, and we're like, let's do this. Started robbing houses and tagging and tackle football on cement, just dumb stuff, and it felt good. Like we had a lot of fun.
And how old are you at this point? Like 13, 14?
Met him when I was 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so young. Yeah. So 10, living in West LA. I was going to an elementary school across Sepulveda. And then him and I, just getting into a lot of trouble.
And what's your mom say about all this when you're getting into? Do you get caught? And is it brought to her attention and stuff? Is she worried or?
Definitely some repercussions. Yeah. And then grades start suffering. There's definitely some talks, report cards look weird, talks from teachers, cops bringing me home a couple times, and like what's so weird is there wasn't a lot, like I don't want to make it seem like there was a lot of police activity or any of this, but the times that it did happen, her response was so funny. I remember getting dropped off one time with the cops, and that probably sounds bad to some. They're like, any time is too many, but it was like a couple times, and then all of a sudden she's like, what did he do this time? Like as if like it's some movie where I'm like this hardened criminal. I'm like, I'm like this pale, 80-pound kid. And I'm like, like what? But there were some arrests and like, always ticky-tack stuff, like stealing one time, throwing rocks at cars one time, like just kid stuff. And then that progresses. And then as it progressed though, I was fortunate to where I didn't really get caught. I either got crafty, or I would love to think it's me and take credit. Like, I just got really good at it, but the reality is I think it just wasn't part of my story. Looking back, I'm grateful for how my story has unfolded regardless, but it just wasn't part of my story. That element wasn't. So Damian and I end up parting ways. I get thrown into Catholic school. He goes the gang route. We're always on the fringe of gangs. Like loved that lifestyle. And so, came back into contact later. My usage had progressed. I started getting introduced to, gateway, like the weed, the booze, and that. Did acid at 12, 13, and just was very curious about drug culture and the lifestyle, the people, the little tools and things, like all the stuff. Like I'm that guy. Like I love to get weird. And so I was just drawn to that world very quickly. Even looking back, like I'm 45 years old, I'm 24 years sober. I look back with a certain amount of romanticism.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. Like,
I think we all do,
There's a freedom in it.
Yeah.
Like there really is. And like, granted, it's not real. Like when I look back, I know it's through
Delusion.
those goggles where I'm like, God, that was fun. Like no one counted on me. Like no one was like, Richie will handle it. It was like, I didn't have to handle anything.
Yeah.
And I was miserable. But, but I look back, I'm like, man, there was some beauty in that.
Yeah.
So run back into Damian some years later. I think I'm 16, 17 at this point, and see him at this coffee shop, and he was a gangster prior, and all of a sudden he's at this coffee shop and he is not gangster. He's looking confused, tight pants, like a polo, but like a mismatched polo. I didn't realize it was that fresh out of rehab joint, like where you go to Goodwill or like Salvi, and you can get yourself like a $2 outfit, and like that's what he was rocking. But I didn't know. I was just like, dude bumped his head, and he's like got his legs crossed the artsy way, he's got this deep broody look on his face, like he's thinking really deep thoughts, and Damian was never thinking deep thoughts. Like dude was just trying to get laid, like stay quiet, look mysterious. And like kid was a genius. It worked like a charm. That dude slayed. Like he seriously, like credit. I should have taken notes, but I was too dumb. I couldn't shut up, and there was zero mystery, so I was lonely. But the kid slayed. We called him Boyo. His nickname was Boyo, and Boyo was crushing it. But we had a lot of fun. Like it was like right back to it, thick as thieves, like catching the bus out to Hollywood, and dude was sober at that time. And that's what, like the outfit, like all of it. And I remember asking him like all the stuff. And so, we're catching the bus, trying to get into clubs and like just trying to find the feel good, the come up, always the come up. Like where's that career? Where's that job? Where's that person that's going to like hook us up? Where's that chick? Where's that life? And, we were just a couple of kids, and typically we go to the club, get denied. Sometimes we weasel our way in, or we'd find out where the party was in the hills, or most nights we're at a coffee shop just playing dominoes, just bored out of our minds. But dude stayed sober. Boyo stayed sober the whole time, which was so weird, whether it was like the most boring night of our lives or the best night of our lives. And I thought, man, that's a trip. And it was a really cool eye opener, because I thought if I'm in the penthouse, man, like this is good, but we got to make it better. Or like maybe we're supposed to be at that other party. And then I get to that party, I'm like, man, this party sucked. We should have never left that first party, because I'm not okay with point A.
Right.
And the same thing where I'm in the gutter, it's like, I wasn't dealt a fair hand. Like this is bogus. But Damian was cool wherever we went. He was like, whatever, we're good. And I was just tripped out by that. Like, not only was he okay with it, he could stay sober. He didn't need to.
And how did he get it at such a young age? Like, what happened?
YA, like, so youth authority. So he got arrested. Okay. And then went through a bunch of stuff because he started running with gangs and getting into a lot of trouble. And getting into all that. Okay. And so then he went through certain camps, and then he went through a program in South Bay, and just got like nose and toes, wall sits, like group, like, you're a piece of shit. Like, here's how you're gonna. I have pictures of him where he's wearing like signs of things. Like he had to wear a cafeteria tray with like junk on it, and like that was his like punishment. Because he ate like an animal. Because like, and I remember when he got me my first serving job, waiting tables at this spot in West LA, Lulu's Alibi, and we're waiting tables. And I remember every break, this dude would grub and he would hold a hand over his face because he would shovel food into his mouth, like 4 or 5 bites at a time, and just go. And then he was done in like 3 minutes, like a full meal. And you're just like, are you good, bro? Like, what am I missing? And it was just how he was like feral, you know?
I've seen first, I've got to meet clients that have come, you know, through finding a forest through my platform. And I think that's been one of the most special things. And then seeing them, I've seen people come in the beginning, and then I've seen them, you know, at bonfire or after, and seeing like the light come back in their eyes and what a great experience they're having. And this new, you know, community that they have now that could last for the rest of their lives and has set them up like for a successful recovery. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things.
It was weird. Like I feel for dude. It was odd. He had some weird stuff about it. He was a funny dude. Damian passed away like 8.5 years ago from the disease. And he was supposed to give me a chip that night for my 16 years. It was 2017, my 16 years. He was supposed to give me a cake. And instead I got a call from Santa Monica Police Department. And they're like, yo, your boy's on life support. And I'm like, what? Like, I was so confused because I'm like, that dude doesn't die. You know? And I remember going and obviously going to the hospital, and he was there. He was hooked up to life support. It wasn't the first time I've seen someone on life support. I've seen family. I've seen friends, other friends. My friend Devin, she got hit by a cop. She was on life support. And then I remember seeing him, and I remember thinking, it's probably like I kept thinking it was like a sword in the stone type thing. Like I'm special enough and know this dude for almost 30 years. Yeah. Like I'll be able to talk to him. He'll be like, oh yeah, my boy's here. Like we're good. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, let's get going. And I remember like, he wasn't, man, it's weird. This is a weird thought. I remember putting my hands through his hair because that's my boy. And he was so warm. I don't know what I thought. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. And it sucks because 30 years in LA and I live here, like I can't go anywhere. You know, 30 years of a friendship. There's nowhere I can go where there isn't some story attached. Right. That string of lights in Beverly Hills on Santa Monica where they like all line up the same and like racing through them to get through them all green, like, and then getting pulled over, you know, like I can't think of a place that we didn't rob, like the Rite Aid or like, you know, where we didn't pull some maneuver or sell those cigarettes, those cartons of cigarettes to like someone in K-Town, you know, like whatever it was, there's like so much attached and it's so hard. Like no matter how many times I talk about it, 8.5 years later, it still wrecks me. Wrecks me. God, I can't say there's another human being on the planet currently that I feel as connected to in that way. We could go anywhere and not talk and just start laughing because we knew exactly what we were thinking most always. Right. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Your tissue?
That's all good. I'm chilling, whatever. I'm sure wherever he is, he's laughing at me. He's like, you pansy. We're good. Yeah, I love the kid, man. I miss that dude a lot. It's a trip. I try to honor him as much as possible. But yeah. But we had a lot of fun before all that happened. And you know, he introduced me to sobriety. He knew I was like on one. First, he actually relapsed. Before I ever got sober, he relapsed. Okay. And I got a call and he hit me up. He's like, where you at? I was like, I don't know, like wherever I was. And he's like, come through. I'm at this chick's house. He was hooking up with this chick from, actually, she was in the very first Perfect 10 mag. I won't say her name. She was in the very first Perfect 10 magazine. Ooh. Perfect 10 was like Playboy, but like no alterations. Like you couldn't have any augmentation, no work done. Like you had to be like naturally flawless. And she was. Won't say her name. But he was hooking up with her. She lived in Venice. And he's like, come through. I'm at her house. And I was like, all right. He's like, I'm drunk. And I'm like, what? I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. What are you talking about? He goes, I am. And I was like, and I knew it. And so I came through and I smoked him out. And he was new, like brand new again. And he was so dumb. We're listening to like Lou Reed. He like put Lou Reed on Walk on the Wild Side. And he's like, I've heard it before. I just never heard it. And I'm like, oh God, he turned into like Keanu Reeves, you know, or I'm just like, bro, I don't even want to be here right now because he's just too new, you know? And there was a time where I'm sure he held it down or whatever. And he was dealing and doing all the things and he just he was dumb, you know, and, but we, you know, we were back at it and all of a sudden we were on the same page and then he introduced me to more stuff and like other people started coming around and the next thing you know, like I was off and running. And then it delves into, it just gets darker and darker, you know, like the lights get dim and I don't notice it. And I'm like, nah, it's chilling. Like I want this. 18, 19, right in that range.
Like becoming adult.
Because I had started drugs, like I had gotten into harder drugs, but I hadn't like, I don't feel like it was ugly. Like it was still fun. It's like the life, like the dealers, people are coming through. There's like large amounts of everything. And you're just like, whoa, like this life, you know, like I've made it, like I'm basically Scarface, you know? And, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like whoever you're kicking it with and how much you're using, all of a sudden it's like they're pointing out white vans and you're like, yo, and white vans are everywhere.
I mean, like, they are.
And then I'm doing that thing where the blinds are closed and I'm doing this. Because like the strings that go through the holes, if you go back and forth, you can get a pretty decent picture of what's outside or at least create one in your mind. You know, so, you know, and I'm losing it and I don't even realize it. And so him and I are on one. And then of course he's talking shit. Like this is the worst part about Damian. So I get like whatever it is, like whatever I'm in the mood for. Typically I'm more up than down and I'm like rocks, meth, whatever. He's like, man, you're such an idiot on that shit. He's like, well, you need to stop that. And I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. I was like, look at you, bro. And then he's like, yo, let me get a hit. And I'm like, bro, you're going to talk shit and then ask me for a hit. And then he would make it even worse. He would pass out. Like he was the dude that would do whatever I gave. It could be meth. Dude would take two rails and just go nod off and like pass out on my couch. I'm like, what are you eat? You're a waste. Like, stop. I'm not.
You're wasting it.
I ain't got it like that, bro. I'm not just like giving free lines. I'm not like Willy Wonka, bro. Like, stop that. And so, but we'd always just battle. And I loved. Man, this is just too much. And then one day he comes into my place. I had this apartment in Van Nuys, and I was like, everything was starting to fall apart, but. He comes in one day. I had nothing in this apartment. I could afford nothing. And I was just like, I got evicted, like whatever it was, like a couple weeks later, like 3 days later, a week later, whatever it was. And he walks into my apartment. He's got it, you know? And I had just seen dude like day ago, 2 days ago. Yeah. And I'm like, he walks in, I'm in like chonies, I'm sweating. My skin is just like, get away from me. I hate myself. I'm like slumped on this pleather love seat. So I had this pleather love seat because the woman upstairs passed away in it. She died. And I don't know if you guys remember those times where like I wouldn't clean and I wouldn't open up my blinds. But there's like one day out of the year, or like one day every 2 years where it's like, I should clean. You get that like little spark, like new me, you know, like, who dis? And I'm like, I'm just cleaning and whatever. My blinds are open and the property manager walked by and his name was Richard. And he goes, hey, Richard, I noticed you. I don't mean to, you know, but I noticed you don't have much. I don't know if you know, but I forget he said her name, you know, she passed away upstairs and well, she's got, you know, a pleather love seat. Before he could finish the sentence, like, I'm like, I'll take it. He's like, oh, I was like, you help me? And like, you know, and so we moved down this light. It was lighter than anything. Put it in my place. So I'm sitting on that. I used to wear like too much hair product. So there's like this stain on it. He comes prancing in and he's got it. And I could tell and I knew it. And he goes, look at you, bro. He's like, bro, you need to get sober. And I was like, because we had tried back and forth and we get a day, we get 5 days, we get, you know, and it's that back and forth thing and none of us can get it. We just keep getting fucked up. And so, and plus I can't do the sober thing. I'm just like, all of it's just weird. And like the avenues of getting sober of like, you know, white, you know, tooth and nail, like, you know, white knuckling. I couldn't think of the word. And
white tooth nail.
Like white tooth, white tooth nails, and nail. white walls. But yeah, we're trying to white knuckle it or like 12 steps. Like, oh, I was just like, oh, dude, all of this is so not okay. He comes prancing in. He's like, you need to get sober. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, you get sober, bro. Like, come at me. I was like, he goes, I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, bullshit. I was like, how much time you got? He goes, I got 1 day.
Yeah.
And he said it with just such pride, like he had me.
Yeah.
And I knew it. And I was like, no, you don't. And I knew he did. And I just didn't care. I was so angry because I had just tried like a week earlier and couldn't hold it.
Mm-hmm.
And
What caused you to choose to become a part of the Oak Forest team?
The first time he came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is my family. These are my best friends now. And I immediately felt very drawn to the Oak Forest community. I think it's really beautiful, from just the bonfire meeting and people not even necessarily needing to go through Oak Forest to go to that. And then also knowing that they have this safe community, or if someone needs help, they can go through this program that has changed so many lives. I love that it's like a family and tribe, like you call it. From seeing how many people have gone through there and then decide to work at Oak Forest and help others and want to stay in that community because they love it so much, I think that's truly something I haven't seen anywhere else.
and he's just so like full of it. And I was like, and I didn't get it for like another 10 days when like June 21st, 01. So that was whatever, the 11th. And then he didn't stick with it. At 90 days, I think he caved. And he always bounced in and out. And then he got a little bit of time later, but yeah, it was just a trip. But yeah, that was my introduction into recovery.
Okay.
That was my best friend. Like,
Yeah.
He made it real.
Yeah.
And he also, like, the way he presented it the first time he said that he was sober, because I was like, yo, you want to go throw a couple back after that coffee shop? And he said, nah, man, I'm sober. I was like, what? He goes, don't worry about it, dude. It's not for you. As opposed to, hey, you should check it out.
Yeah.
Which everyone's always like, bro, you need help or whatever. And he was like, that's not, no, this is my thing. Like,
Yeah.
bounce. And so I'm like, well, I got,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, what's up with that? Perfect 12-step call.
Yeah.
Genius. Yeah, so that was that.
So did he bring you into the rooms, or what did that
He
look
did.
like? Okay.
Yeah. He tricked me into my first meeting on Thanksgiving morning, 1998.
Tricked you? Tricked you how?
I've been up for a few days.
Okay.
I don't know how y'all get when you've been up for a few days on a good one. I was on one. Like, can't control facial gestures, can't stop swallowing nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like bugged out eyes, like those predator eye flashes, seeing things. I'm pretty sucked up. I was wearing a bright orange shirt, says I Heart Heroin, which is easily the greatest shirt ever made. And it's like 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. We're up on Sunset, some spot. And he's like, hey bro, roll with me to this meeting right quick. And I'm like, hey bro, no. I'm not trying to go to NARC headquarters. And because I had heard of A&A, but I'm like, I don't know what this is. And so he's like, will you just go to support me? And I got that loaded loyalty, I got my people's back. If we were at the club and he found someone to hook up with and he was my ride, it's like, I'll figure it out. I'll catch a bus. Like, I'll hitch a ride. Like, I'll get home. You know what I mean? Like, go get that.
Yeah.
Like, you just, that's how you operate. And so, I just go to support him. I'm like, and he didn't even want to go to a meeting. I found out. Didn't care.
Yeah.
He knew I needed it, and it was the perfect way. Genius. As opposed to, I have an answer and I'm going to tell you what it is. It's like, let me get crafty with it. I'm going to flank you and be like, hey, I want to go. Will you just have my back? Wild. Right. And that was my introduction. And I was super tripped out by the whole thing. And it's a weird group. It's a weird things on the walls, and like, thee, thou, thy, and like all the things. And then, let's pray and chant each other's names, but it's not a cult. And I'm like, okay, there's no dues or fees, but then they're like passing a basket. And I'm like, some like Jedi thing. Like, there's no dues or fees. Everyone's coughing up cash. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but I want no part of it. They keep clapping. LA, like, for those that don't know, LA or like, Southern California. Oh man. Everyone just keeps, clapping it up for coffee. Yeah. I was tripped out by the whole thing. Wanted nothing to do with it. But push come to shove. I tried a bunch of other ways, typically just my own willpower. and I ain't got it. I just,
Yeah.
every other area you put me up against the wall, I'll figure it out somehow, some way. But came to alcohol, came to drugs, there was no chance. No chance.
What was early sobriety like?
Funky. I had nowhere to live. My life was in a duffel bag. There's this guy, John, reminds me I didn't have shoes, you know, and he always brings it up when I see him. He's like, I remember you had no shoes. And I'm like, why you got to bring up old shit, John? I was like, you know what? I got shoes now. Some pretty fucking nice ones, bro. Like, and a lot of them fills my closet. You want to play games? You know?
Yeah.
And, but it's cool. It's good to remember, you know? And so it was weird. I actually slept on this one dude's couch, or not couch, a cot. He said he had a spare room. He didn't. He had a cot in the hallway covered in cat hair, which I was allergic. And I'm like, ooh, all stuffed up. And like, slept there for 2 weeks. And then someone else from the group took me in, this guy, Leslie J., who was a big actor until he passed away. It's been, I think, 2 or 3 years. Such a bummer. But he was really funny. Southern guy, short guy. He was a big Instagram dude, and he was really funny. Southern accent, super
You'd know
gay.
who he was if he's
Super gay. He's so funny.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I stayed with him for a month and a half, and then I saw him like 8-9 years later. Asked him to speak for me. I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but I stayed with you. So the first morning I wake up, there's a note on the counter. It's propped up on an envelope. I saved it. And it says, Richie, went to take the dogs to the dog park. Help yourself to a Pop-Tart or cereal. I'll be back around 11 or something. We'll hit a noon meeting, you know, talk to you in a bit. Leslie. First morning I wake up, dude's gone. There's electronics. There's valuables.
Yeah. You're in this nice house.
Yeah.
And I'm confused. Like,
is this a trap?
And you're like 2 weeks sober.
Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna rob this dude. Like, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm the snake that bites your hand for feeding me. You know? And so, but I was so floored by the gesture because no one had
done that.
Extended that level of hospitality or just love in so long. And so I was tripped out. So like, I just grabbed a Pop-Tart, you know what I mean? And waited for him to go to a noon meeting. And sure enough, that's what we did. And I stayed there for a month and a half. And so I see him 8-9 years later, and I asked him to speak at this big meeting. And I said, I don't know if you remember me. And I said, you stayed with you for a month and a half when I was brand new. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, I said, yeah, you let me stay in your spare room. I don't even remember where it was in the world, but like, you know, and he goes, oh my God, did I try and have sex with you? And I was like, dude, not even once. I was like a little concerned. I thought you were going to try.
Yeah.
And granted, I was like seriously like Gollum, like just like, you know, like just not okay, you know, and I'm like worried that dude wants me and like I'm strung out, you know, just like, oh, I hate you. And I said, no, not even once. He goes, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. You know what I mean? And then I saved it. I showed him the envelope that that note. And he goes, wow. He goes, that's so cool. And he just passed away. So early sobriety was a trip, you know, trying to find jobs, trying to like stay sober. And like, seriously, I felt like a feral animal where like, I knew life, but I never really lived it. I can intellectualize what it took, and I knew that everyone else had the opportunities. I didn't. You don't know where I come from. You don't know what I've been through. Like, what's afforded to you is not afforded to me, and therefore where you're successful, I won't be. Whether that's sobriety, success, love, fill in the blank. I didn't have a car. I was just a child. Like, I was just lost, and I wasn't legally a child, but I was a child. And so learning how to live, learning how to, you know, not even just have a job, but to put the money towards bills and to get, you know, to pay off my pager, you know what I mean? To like
be responsible,
get a cell phone. I was like, oh, neato, you know, and like these things, it was so odd. And then show up. And then I moved in with my mom at like 60 days or 90 days, shared a bunk bed with my 9-year-old brother. And I'm just like, oh, my life sucks, you know, and just trying to find my way.
Did you have a sponsor? Like, did you get a sponsor immediately, or what did that look like?
Pretty soon. I I wanted to feel self-sufficient. Like I can hear something and again, intellectualize it. So what y'all figured out in 12 steps, no offense, I could probably lock it down in 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are idiots and I'm number 2 pencil guy. So like, I got this.
In your experience with treatment, how special is Oak Forest?
Oak Forest is very special. I've had my fair share of treatment experiences. I've even worked in treatment myself. And Oak Forest is like something I've never really experienced before. And I think that it's almost something that like cannot be replicated anywhere else, at least from what I've seen, right? And so it's just like this community and the love and the support that goes from the beginning of the process, and not even just with the clients, with the families, with everything else. Like everything that I have seen goes above and beyond. And like beyond even as like all of these people are being employed long after they have completed treatment, right? And I think that right there says everything.
And then I kept falling on my face. And so after relapsing so many different times, what I learned was I didn't even learn. The thought hit me. I had never done everything that was told to me. Mm-hmm. I would pick and choose what I felt applied, and therefore what would happen is I would fail.
Right.
And I realized I had never tried everything. And so I would get the sponsor, but I wouldn't meet up with them. I wouldn't do the 12 steps. I wouldn't read the book. I wouldn't, I'd go to a meeting, but I wouldn't get a commitment. All the stuff, right? So I was like, let's do everything and see what happens. Like, I want to make chocolate chip cookies. Recipe's cool. I want chocolate chips. What's baking soda? I'm like, we all know what baking soda is. You know what I mean? And, but like, what, I don't want to do all this. I don't want to spend, 20 minutes. And then it's like, I'm not getting cookies. And I'm like, why am I not getting cookies? It's like, well, I'm not following the recipe. And the same thing in the program where it's like, okay, I had never really done all of it. And once I did, who'd have thunk, here I am all these years later. So, yeah, but I did get a sponsor pretty quick. Asked a dude, his girlfriend was slamming. She was gorgeous and he had a really cool car. He had 15 years sober, didn't smoke, was always at meetings, was always of service. He had like a balanced life. He was a vegan, whatever. But like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I saw some like spiritual stuff, like, the sober thing. But I also saw like fun life, good life,
right?
And he like made movies and things. I was like, all right. I'm like, okay, he's gonna show me the Cliff's Notes. Like, what's the? I keep hearing step 4, step 9. Like, we'll just get to those and then move through.
Right.
And it was like, he wasn't that dude. We were like beginning of the book, write your name, your phone number, your sobriety date. I was oh no, like we're not even just reading the black print.
Like,
we're
it's the long version.
We're adding black print. Yeah. I was like, my guy.
We're taking the back roads.
Oh, dude, I was not down. But that was it. He was my sponsor for the first 7 years. Probably closer to 5. The last 2 years were just sort of check-in, news, weather, sports. Then I got my current sponsor, James, out of Maui. He has 44 years. He's almost 45 years sober. Young, great dude. Lives like a daily reprieve. And he showed me that way of living and that style. And that's kept me in good stead since 7. So like 17 plus years.
Yeah.
But yeah, sobriety's a trip. Like, I've never been rendered white as snow. I'm kind of a cluckhead still love the shortcut. I love to intellectualize things and think because I know the outcome of if I do the work, what will happen. So I don't need to do the work because I already know the outcome. Like, I'll just be buff because I know if like, I eat well and like work out, like I'm good. And it's like, I don't eat well and I don't work out. And I'm like, yo, what's going on?
What happened?
This doesn't even make sense. Like, I get it, and then it's like, I don't work a daily program. I don't connect with something greater. I don't get quiet. And it's like all these things become extra credit. And I'm wondering why I don't feel connected. I don't like, why do I not feel confident in life? Why am I stressed out about money or relationships? And they can be stressful, but I'm not putting the mask on myself first. I'm thinking I need to juggle and spin all these plates. Damn, I need to get back to basics because life is not happening to me. It's happening for me. When I'm aligned, it's all God. When I'm not, I'm like, man, I need to exert my will And I'm so quick to manipulate and twist and contort and all the things to like try and get what I think I really want. And all I really want is peace.
Yeah.
I just want calm peace. And so I'm at that place now currently where I'm just getting back to, oh, let's slow down. Let's slow down. I pulled back from my company a bit. I'm divorced 2 years. I'm in, an interesting place with that. I thought about, like, here's a thought. You have $1 billion. What car do you get? Where do you want to live? What does the house look like? Where do you near? What's the passion? Where? And the thought hit me, if I had $1 billion, I have no clue what car I'd go buy.
Yeah.
I don't know where. I probably want multiple houses, but like where?
Yeah.
What do I want it to look like? Where do I go? What do I want my day to look like? That's a weird thought at 45. And to be a guy that's goal oriented without certain goals. And not that it's just about car and home and that, but like even like, again, passion.
Yeah.
Right.
What's my purpose? What am I like? I love what I do company wise. I love helping people. I love that, but
There's more to it.
where is it?
It's like that. Yeah. It's like that inner, dude. I feel that. I'm on
here
that
now.
same. Yeah. I'm on that same wave right now.
Ooh-wee. It's an interesting place to be, and it's like midlife crisis-y, and like I don't want to say crisis because it's not. I'm in a really good place. Like I have 2 beautiful children that I'm so connected to that they just cuddle with me. My 8-year-old just holds on to me, and she's like, "Dad, I love you." Says it all throughout the day. Son, same thing. Cuddle bug, Des, Harper, and Des. Man, like that's everything.
Yeah.
I only have them half time. Divorce is weird like that. And I didn't have kids to have them 50% of the time, but it is what it is. And in the beginning, I was so hurt by it and so crushed by divorce. I didn't get married to get divorced. I didn't have kids to have them half time. Here I am. That's the story. And I was in resistance for so long, and I was suffering. And now I'm at a place where it's like, how do I take that and make it the best thing possible? How do I prioritize my time away from my children? And that's where I'm starting to get into that place where it's like, okay, cool. What are the core elements of my life? Health, program, purpose, passion. I want to get into like love, but like love on all levels.
Yeah.
Family, friendships, life, world, romance, like all of it. Where am I at though? And it's like, I'm turning that corner of like, a blank canvas is really scary.
Yeah.
To like,
it's figuring it out.
I got a blank canvas.
Wild.
I'm like, all right, I like a little chartreuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we might put a little splash there, like get weird with some periwinkle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like I'm finally at that place where I'm like, okay, let's get specific about this. I actually started this thing. Like I'm going to have a workshop at the beginning of next month. I'm going to do a 2-day little thing and split it up and for free. Like I'm just going to do it and invite whoever. And I'm going to get into, let's map out what we want our lives to look like. Yeah. Specific. Let's get really detailed, because every person that I look up to that's successful in what they do at first got specific about what it was that they wanted.
Vision boards and shit.
Oh, totally. And I do this. I used to like run groups. I used to be a lot more client facing, like helping people within like the recovery field. A lot less now. But I would run these groups and I talk to these kids, and they're anti-recovery, this program, anti-everything.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, all right, so we're going to do a thing. I want to hear someone's dream car.
Yeah.
Come on up. You got all the money. I'm going to get you your car. Tell me what you want. And they're like, oh, black Mercedes, tint. I'm like, all right, I got you. It's an 87. It's got tint. It's black. It's a Mercedes. It's close to 200,000 miles on it, bro. And the radio doesn't work. And the window, one of them gets like a little weird with it. But like, dude, your dream car, you're welcome. Like, dude, you just hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's not what I meant. And I'm like, then get specific about what you're saying.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And you can see the click, and they go,
For sure.
And there's something magical about what like that happens when we
Write it down.
write it down
No,
and get
it's-
very specific. Oh, I want a 3-bedroom house. That's cool. Where? What does it look like? What's the decor? How big are the rooms?
Yeah.
How many bathrooms?
Mhm.
Like, what's the kitchen setup like? You know, let's get what you have a garage?
Yeah, we need the
What's the
vision.
yard like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are there trees?
Mhm.
Like, is there
Yeah.
you got a pool? What are you into? You know what I mean? Like, is there a
Yeah.
jungle gym for the kids? Like,
Mhm.
what are we doing here? Let's get very real about what it looks like.
Listen, nobody wakes up one day and thinks, you know what'll be fun? Going to rehab. But sometimes life gets messy, and the bravest thing that you can do is admit that you need a reset.
At Oak Forest Recovery, we're not here to judge. We've been there. We know what it's like. We've been scared. We've been alone, using comedy and jokes to cover it all up. The good news is you don't have to do it alone. We have the tools, we've got the community, and we even have good coffee.
If you or someone you love is struggling, come see us. Healing doesn't have to be boring, it can even be fun, and we're here to help.
Especially with those that don't believe it's possible, especially people new in recovery, especially the young ones. There's just no thought because they're under the control of mom and dad or like a loved one. They've been inundated with just, you know, do what we say, and they feel like they have no control. And you start to give them this beautiful vision of like, dude, you create it.
Mhm.
And I always say, what do you want your day to look like? What time you want to wake up? Well, do I have to wake up? I'm like, right. No, for sure. I hear you. Probably don't like your life. But let's pretend you love your life so much, you don't want to miss a moment. Your life is so legit, you don't want to miss a moment. And all of a sudden they're like, I don't know, maybe like 9 o'clock. I'm like, all right. Which is, for me is like
Yeah.
super late, but I'm like,
Yeah, no,
starting
it's
point, we
progress.
planted a flag. I was like, you were talking about maybe 2 p.m.,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
not at
yeah.
all. 9 a.m. is
Yeah.
a vast improvement. Okay, cool. What's the first thing you do at 9 a.m.?
Mhm.
Hit my vape.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm not
period.
knocking it. Get
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Mhm.
All right, hit that vape. What flavor? Is that the, yes, unicorn tears. Let's go.
Mhm.
Hit that. Now what? Do you have a practice? Do you connect with something greater? Do you go like get a cup of coffee? What's that best morning feel like? Do you
Mhm.
walk outside and just like notice the sun coming up and hitting the trees and the thing? Like, what does that feel like?
Yeah.
Did you sleep well? Do you feel well rested and excited? Write it. Tell me about your day. And all of a sudden they go, damn. I'm like, that's possible. Yeah, but not right now. I'm stuck at this place. Stop. Let's live here. Put it on paper, see what happens. So I'm gonna do this workshop. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm
think it's
excited.
great.
I'm fucking
Oh, I'm
fired
hyped.
up right
I'm
now.
hyped.
Great.
Let's go.
I'm fired up. Okay. Well,
it's-
damn.
I think it's interesting you say that. I think it's 100% true. My first AA step workbook, right? It was one of those 5 subject
yeah.
notebooks.
Yeah.
And on the first page, I wrote my name, my sponsor's number, my sobriety date,
Yeah.
flipped the page, and I was waiting to get step 1, right? And I was sitting at home and I just got super granular about what I wanted in my life.
Yeah.
And I wrote out, I was maybe 3 weeks sober at this point, and I wrote out 3 business plans.
Oh.
One was a recovery center, one was a media company, and one was a hardwood flooring business.
I love it.
Because there was a kid that knew how to do it.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I called hardwood flooring companies.
Let's
And I
go.
got pricing, and I put everything.
Yeah.
I called every sober living in the area, got pricing. I just mapped all of these things out. And fucking 9 years later, it's like,
That's it.
it's there.
That's what it is. And
You
I
have to
forget
get
that.
specific. You have to. It's like you write it down, you get specific about exactly what you want, and it will happen.
Yeah. And I think that one of the elements that I try to remind people is also to revisit it.
Mhm.
Because I do it, I hit that goal. Like one of mine was like international travel every year.
Mhm.
All these different elements, how much is in the bank, how much I want to make a day.
Right.
And all of a sudden I put the number and I'm like, yeah, I'm good with that. And all of a sudden I was making almost double.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm clocking cash and I went, oh, it's all happening.
Yeah.
And then I got comfortable and I went, huh. And I forgot there's a revisiting
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, go back because dreams change,
Yeah.
goals
And
get
update
met,
it, update it. Yeah.
and it's like do a time like every 90 days, revisit, see what happens, you know. And there's no limit. You know what I mean? Master P.
The limit
on
does
that.
not exist.
That's right. You know, make them say,
Yeah.
And
So how did you go from early sobriety, 90 days, living at your mom's house, new in sobriety, to where you are today, 24 years later? Like, what did that journey look like? Like, what was it for the first few years? What was it for?
I'm dense, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dense. I'm like,
Yeah,
like I
for
said,
sure.
I'm not very bright. I think looking back, I hid in the rooms and in program for a long time because that's the foundation. Without that, I have nothing. And I live by that. There's one book to rule them all.
Right,
and
right.
live that, preached it, all the stuff. Then got very human by making mistakes while even living in that.
Right.
You know, blowing it in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
And just going, snaps. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not exempt even in here.
Yeah.
And then there was the cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
And then the re-up when I got my sponsor at 7 years, my now sponsor, and then getting current and daily with a program, which I'm currently not, and I'm revisiting as mentioned. I don't want to
No. Yeah.
I don't want to give up any ideas like, I levitate, my farts smell like Chanel, you know.
Yeah.
Once that happened, what came from that was a greater understanding. The blinders came off. Whereas I was living from a place of lack, all of a sudden I was living in a place of gratitude and expansion. Like there's never enough. There's no limit. And living with the thought process that there's always enough and even more that I could even imagine, and it's all available to me. There's something very special about what happens with that. I got married to a woman in recovery. 2000. I got married in 2014, met her in 2011. Took a second. That's actually kind of cool. Starting to forget, you know.
Yeah.
Like, right, hey, that's nice. That's pretty neat. Before now, you're like all just bitter. And now I'm like, I don't know, you know, whatever. I wish you the best. Like, dude, get that girl. Like, go get that life. Be a good mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then right after we got married, like life fell apart. And I had approached my sponsor and was like tired of just like doing the hookup thing, because that's kind of easy, you know, and I'm kind of a low hanging fruit kind of a guy, or I should say, and, you know, a man of convenience, if you will. Like, I'm just not the one that like is going to put in a lot of effort, and so you get what you get. And but then I wanted something different, and I remember getting married and like really looking for something different. And to a degree, I had that at some point. And then, of course, things get weird. Marriage is weird, and relationships in general over a period of time get weird, and that's normal. Right after we got married, a bunch of people died. My mom, one of the people that died was my uncle. So my mother, the same parents that kicked her out, she moved back in with them to make sure that as they were dying, that they were taken care of. Like when my grandfather was on hospice, and then she stayed after he died to take care of her mom.
Did you have a relationship with them at any point, or not really?
I was the favorite grandchild.
Okay.
Which was really odd.
Yeah,
because
ironic.
I knew how they treated my mom.
Yeah.
So I had like my arms up. Like Christmas, I'd get this crazy microscope with like all the little things, and like the brine shrimp and like whatever, and like the tweezers and the squeegee and the thing and like all the stuff.
They probably had a lot of their own guilt.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And my cousin, whose mom was the favorite child, he was treated less than. Like, I swear, I'd get a microscope, he'd get a magnifying glass. And I'm like, and we're a year apart.
Yeah.
And so at Christmas, I'm getting like bombarded with like cool stuff, and they're getting like second rate.
Yeah.
And I always felt bad.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just like, and I
Yeah,
knew they
weird.
were whack. I was like,
Like, why are you doing this to me? Yeah.
It's just weird. And I felt uncomfortable. Like, and she would even say, she would gush like on how great I was in this, even into like later memories are coming up. I don't want to talk about them, but, she would always gush, but I always felt weird about it because of how she treated my mom. So point being, met my then wife, all these people died, I started inviting abundance into my life. And someone had mentioned it. My program at that time was pretty tight. I was sponsoring a ton of people. I was at meetings constantly. I had service commitments. I was like really involved. And, but I was hurting. And I think part circumstantial, like life, just so many people died and so much trauma. My uncle, my mom's brother, ended up blowing the fuse box at that grandparents' house, blew the fuse box, lit the house on fire, walked up to his mom and said, "Watch this," and then shot himself in the head.
I've seen first, I've got to meet clients that have come, you know, through finding Forest through my platform. And I think that's been one of the most special things. And then seeing them, I've seen people come in the beginning, and then I've seen them, you know, at bonfire or after, and seeing like the light come back in their eyes and what a great experience they're having. And this new, you know, community that they have now that could last for the rest of their lives and has set them up like for a successful recovery. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things.
Mom's right there, calls 911. My brother just committed suicide. Then she hears and smells fire. She's like, "Oh my God, he lit the house on fire." She gets my grandmother out. She gets all the animals out. They had an exchange student from China. This poor girl had no idea. She walked into like, my Uncle Johnny was a meth addict.
Yeah.
You know, welcome. And got all them out. And then she came to live with my then wife and I. We had just got married, and she moved in with us, and it was awkward. And I didn't expect that. And there was this like friction between my ex and my mom, and it's just uncomfortable. But I started inviting abundance into my life, because then we had a couple miscarriages. It was just like, it was a funky time. It was a lot at once. I think I had 13 years, 14 years at that time. And I made up this prayer from things I've heard before, but it was very specific. Thank you, God, for your infinite grace, love, and abundance. I'm completely open to receiving and giving your infinite grace, love, and abundance. And I now invite your infinite grace, love, and abundance into my life. Thank you for it, because it already exists. Thank you. I'm already experiencing it. Whether I'm thinking of something that I don't have, there's so much that I do. I'm completely open to receiving it and giving it, because it's infinite. There's plenty for everyone. I can receive it and give it. And I'm open to receiving it, meaning I am worthy of the greatest that life has to offer, that God has to offer. And lastly, I now invite it into my life. Send it. Full send.
Full send.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And I get the chills even now talking about it. I can feel my hair getting weird, because that shit works. And the same thing, revisit it, because all of a sudden abundance showed up in 10 days. Made more money in a couple months than I had my whole life. Mom found a place to live. Mrs. got pregnant, like all within like a short window.
Right.
And right away, I'm like, "Oh, check me out. Look what I did." You know what I mean? Like, put it down. You know what I mean? And, you know, but then that's all the big GOD. And then all of a sudden the goals are met, and I forget to continue to invite abundance into my life.
Right.
I love working out. And then 3 days in, I get like the slightest definition.
And you're like,
whatever
"Oh my
this
God.
is."
I don't
And
need
I'm
to go
like,
anymore.
I'm just
good.
telling you, I got the
Yeah,
all new
yeah.
outfit from Fiore. I'm like, check me out. You know what I mean? I got like a little shadow, like whatever this is, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about working out more than I work out. I
Yeah.
don't even go to the gym anymore.
Yeah.
That was a week ago. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm kind of back in the gym. You know what I mean? And that's how I operate, because it feels so good. I don't need to do it anymore. And that's all things good for me. Diet, treating people kindly, program, you know, all of the things. And then I stop. And so I want to get to a place where I live in the basics, and I got to get back to them. I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. Hoo-wee.
Yeah.
Hoo-wee.
Yeah. God
Hoo-wee.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I'm fired up right now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thursday morning.
Yeah. I'm going to do a vision board after this.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Get some
Well,
magazines.
so what happens after so you get divorced in
2 years ago. 2023.
Okay.
August.
And then what has it been like going through that journey?
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I deferred a lot of the emotional work, partly due to the fact there was so much to get handled. Divorce itself, running the company, you know, switching residence. We kept our house so the kids could stay stationary. When she was her time with the kids, split schedule. her time with the kids, I was out. I was in my apartment.
Yeah.
When I was there with the kids, she was in her place.
Got it.
And so we were never there
okay.
together,
Mm.
but the kids stayed
would sit- oh, that's
stationary.
kinda cool.
I think it's called nesting.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
We
that.
were
yeah.
fortunate
Wow.
enough to where that was an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah,
Because
right.
that's not for everyone.
For
but
sure.
All good. Grateful for it. Then October last year, we sold the house, and the kids are now at our respective spots. So that was a different transition. But I had so much on my plate, and then I started like dating. I was married for so long, so I'm like, and there's apps now, and apps
Yeah.
are like dumb, and like real easy, like depending on what you're looking
Yeah.
for. And I was just like, this is crazy. And then that got old.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't want that, but I don't believe in marriage,
Mm.
but I don't believe in just hooking up. And so actually at the tail end of last year, I knew that I had been avoiding the emotional work, but I had checked off all the things like selling the house, getting the apartment set, all the laundry list of things that I was dealing with got handled. And then April last year, I was driving, I got hit by a bus, and then the bus just took off, and I'm like, oh, what's that like? Still dealing with that. There was just so much on my plate. Tail end of last year, I'm ready. I'm like bubbling up where I just can't live like this anymore. I'm furious at my ex-wife. I'm hurt, deeply saddened by how everything went down. And I feel like I just feel crushed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to give her credit for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter. I've had worse breakups like prior to marriage, like just girlfriends.
Yeah.
This was nothing. We're good. I got my kids half time. I'm like, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be fine. As long as they're good, I'm good. And meanwhile, I'm dying inside,
Right.
and I'm really hurt by the fact that my marriage ended. So at the end of that last year, I realized like I cut off all the apps, and I basically eliminated the majority of distractions. Part of that was like the dating stuff. Part of that was all of it, like how much I was on my phone. I just got into self and kids. That was it. I dated one person committed style for a very short period of time because I just wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was, and it felt right, I guess, at that time. And then it was overwhelming. It just felt like pressure. Everything felt like pressure. So I just needed to eliminate pressure. And I knew that I needed to dig in emotionally. And then I went to camp. Last year, August, because I was asked to speak. And then I came back this year, and I did breath work both years. Last year, nothing. It was meditative, cool. I've done breath work a ton of times.
Right.
All good. This time, I cried every day after that for a month and just kind of let it flow. Like I wasn't like, I need to stop crying. I'm a mess. It's just like, I'm crying. I was at my best friend's house with all my boys, their kids, do pool party, just crying. Just crying.
Yeah.
That breath work
Yeah.
cracked my ass all the way open.
Oh, she
too.
got me good.
She got
Props to
me.
Anna. Like,
Dude, she got me. The playlist,
my.
the everything
The
about
playlist.
it. Dude.
I even got tracks. I was like, send me that playlist.
I'm sobbing. Okay, that cracked me.
Ruined.
Yeah,
For a month straight, I cried every day.
yeah.
And one day I didn't. I was like, okay, I guess we pressed. And the next day cried.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, we're back. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
But I think
just
that's
let
a good
it flow.
thing, dude.
It
You
was.
needed
Your
to get
nervous
it
system
out.
finally let go.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like so necessary in the healing process.
I needed it.
Yeah.
And that was, camp was August.
Yeah.
So I cried most of August, a little into September.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are, October. And there's a shift. There's just a shift. And I'm still at the place where like $1 billion, I don't know where I want to live or what car I want. Purpose and passion, still finding the thing. But I know I'm like super present with my children, which I always have been, but even more so now. Like there's levels, like I can always be more. And like the love thing where I said I'd never get married again. Pretty sure I want to get married again. Because anyway. And granted, regardless of how that pans out, I just know that I'm just afraid because I got burnt
Yeah.
in the trust department
Yeah.
that I'm like, I don't want that to ever happen again. So I don't want that. I don't want marriage. And it's like, no, I just don't want to get burnt. I actually do want trust. I want a partnership. I want someone that I can show up for as I am, and they love me unconditionally, satisfied and trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And both ways. I want that.
Yeah.
I want to build an empire.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy the world and what life has to offer. I'm in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool.
That's great.
Things are opening up.
What caused you to choose to become a part of the Oak Forest team?
The first time we came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is my family. These are my best friends now. And I immediately felt very drawn to the Oak Forest community. I think it's really beautiful, from just the bonfire meeting and people not even necessarily needing to go through Oak Forest to go to that. And then also knowing that they have this safe community, or if someone needs help, they can go through this program that has changed so many lives. I love that it's like a family and tribe, like you call it. From seeing how many people have gone through there and then decide to work at Oak Forest and help others and want to stay in that community because they love it so much, I think that's truly something I haven't seen anywhere else.
So it's been a funky little period. This year has been limited distractions and really feeling my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I want. I want to avoid pain.
For sure.
I want to avoid sadness. And meanwhile, what I'm doing is prolonging suffering.
Yeah.
Yep.
No mas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No mas. I'm all in.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So it's been a cool little journey thus far. And now I'm in a place where a lot more open, a lot more excited. Like I said, the blank canvas isn't daunting anymore. It's more so an opportunity. It's very exciting. Like, what does life do for me versus to me?
It's like that, what is it? I get to versus I have to.
I don't have to. I didn't have to get divorced. I got to get divorced.
Got to. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but really, one day it's going to lead you to the point where you're like,
it already is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It took me years, man. I got divorced when I was like 24, 25.
Whoa, which means you got married when?
Yeah, like 23 or something. Yeah.
RJ.
Yeah. Wow. But it took a long time, man. I was super fucking angry.
Yeah. You gonna get married again?
Yeah, I would. I'm totally open to getting married again.
Nice,
yeah,
man.
for sure.
This is beautiful.
This is beautiful.
Love this.
Yeah.
You getting married again?
I'm not getting married, but you
This
guys.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not.
No,
I'm still on that journey.
I'm just messing.
not me.
This is beautiful. Never.
But I love it for you guys.
For you guys. Yeah. No, I would, man. I just, it's about finding
the one.
right. It's about finding the right person. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's got to click. It's got to be right. It's got to,
Such a weird thing, right?
I think it gets harder when we get older.
Yes and no. I don't know. I'm
For some
so
reason, I
confused
think
now.
when I was younger, like in my 20s,
yeah,
I feel like I just didn't ever see stop signs. Does that make sense?
Because your frontal lobe is wide open and you're not.
And then once I crossed like 30, 32, I just see more stop signs than green lights.
Yeah.
I get it.
And reasons why things won't work.
Green lights. And like, if there was a stop sign, it was kind of like,
Yeah.
But that's the tough part. Like here in my 40s, now I'm at this place where there will always be some stop signs.
Well, that's what I mean.
Whoever.
Oh, yeah. And you got to work through
and
them.
which stop signs am I actually okay with?
Yeah.
Like not full stop, like California roll style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's others where it's like, oh, you're a no-go.
Yeah.
But that's my point. It's like, as I've gotten older, it's different now.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're noticing those things and you have to work through them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that's part
It's
self.
more work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just it's an odd dance as you get older, I think.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
And then add children and
But you get to.
But you get to.
Wait,
you get to like brush by those stops, you know?
I think that story about your dad is such an interesting piece of your sobriety.
Yeah.
And I just find that to be like so incredible. I mean, like that doesn't happen very often for somebody, I think.
No.
Walk us through that.
Yeah. So I I was given a gift about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was given a gift of a DNA thing, Ancestry. Spit in the thing, send it in, whatever. How Irish am I? You know, and find out I'm Irish. I'm Native American. My mom's high school sweetheart, Bob. Never met Bob. Bob bailed, right? And Bob was Native American. And okay, cool. I'm that Irish. You know, I'm that Native American. Cool. And I didn't even look deeper. Like I just saw those two listed and was like, yeah, all right, whatever. And I didn't know. I figured Native American was probably Cherokee because I'm ignorant and was just like, yeah, that's what that is, right? Yeah. And it wasn't, but I didn't know that. So 2 years after I take it, first of all, you get emailed nonstop when you do those things because they're just like, here's another $100. You know, if you're related
go
to
deeper,
Genghis
go
Khan.
deeper,
yeah,
go
yeah.
deeper.
Well, you want to map out all of them? We're all related to Genghis Khan. You know what I mean? Like, nice try. But then this one morning I wake up and it says DNA match parent/child. And I didn't tell you, Bob died. Bob died right after I took the test. He died. And I got a copy of the death certificate because I didn't know him. But I'm like, yo, that's DNA. If he's got something, I should know about it. So I get a copy. He died of alcoholism and depression. And so I'm like, Pops.
Makes sense.
Yeah. My daddy.
I wouldn't have called me either. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, my guy. But I open it up and it says parent/child. So when I see that, I'm thinking my daughter, who was born at this time when I had it. So it was probably 8 years ago. I think she's got an older brother or sister. Because like I said, I was kind of, a man about town.
Yeah.
It says Roy A., August 28th, 1962. And I'm like, not my kid. Yeah. So I text my mom with a screenshot and I go, Roy? ? And she writes back, caps lock, fuck, call me. And I'm looking at this. I just woke up, just got back from Ireland. I'm in Big Bear with my ex and our daughter and then some friends and their kids. And I'm looking at it. And had I been watching a movie of this happen, I would have been like, yo, that's that dude's dad.
Yeah, for sure. But in the moment, you're just like, I'm
Keanu.
Yeah. I'm like, because dad's dead. Dad died.
You know? So of course, I call, mom calls, she picks up, we talk. She tells me about her high school sweetheart, Bob. Epic breakup right before prom. 2 months before prom, she starts dating her sweet blue-eyed Mexican coworker from Mickey D's, Roy. And Roy, they hook up twice. They went to prom. She wasn't really feeling it. She got back together with Bob. Yeah. So like a lot of Bob, couple times Roy, a lot of Bob. She gets pregnant. She's like, it's Bob.
Yeah.
Oh no, Roy, old potent Roy. So all my ex goes to all of our friends. They're online trying to find this Roy guy. They find him. First place, LinkedIn, which was a good sign. Yeah, career man. I don't need anything at this time. I'm doing well in my life. I just don't want to find a dad that's not doing well. I'm like, hey son, take care of me. Give me a flight out there. I was like, you need to chill.
Sorry, dude.
And so, but they find him, and then we find him on Facebook. Not a lot of activity, but every year, dude's got 2 birthdays. Dude's sober, like one of us. And I went, wait, what? And he lives in Covina.
Bro.
And I'm just like, and I'm looking at, I went from this dead guy I'll never have a chance to meet that I always just wanted to have coffee with, to be like, what's your life like?
Yeah.
To dead, gone, not an option, to very much alive, very sober, and lives in Covina. And then I got worried, oh my God, what if I have more time than Pops? And he's like trying to give me fatherly advice. I'll be like, oh, Dad, no. Time rides. I got more time than you. As soon as you get more time than me, you can tell me what to do. But until then, just keep quiet. And also I get shotgun. So like, that's how this works. Yeah. And, but he has 2.5 years more than me. And so I messaged him and I said, hey, looks like we share some DNA. Looks like you knew my mom. And, no one did anything wrong. No one owes anything. I don't need anything. I'm a dad, Also, I see that you're part of the Neck Up Club. Right on, man. I think you're coming up on 20. I just celebrated 17. This was back then. And that's it. And he writes back, I just found out this past Thursday. I told my wife, I told my daughter, we're over the moon. I would love to talk, if you want to. Here's my number.
Wow.
And I'm tripping. And I'm like, I had a copy of the death certificate and my own birth certificate with this dude's name on it. That's not my dad.
Yeah.
And so I ended up reaching out to him. And then we met at Pie and Burger halfway between us in Pasadena. We talked for 3 hours like we've known each other our whole lives. No awkward silence, no weirdness. blue-eyed Mexican. And I'm like, I told my barber, I was like, yo,
Did it
bro.
just make sense
Mexican.
immediately?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Mexican.
Oh, you should have seen. I was like, yo, bro, I tell him this whole story. He goes, he wasn't even impressed. He's like, bro, I always knew you were Mexican. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you always button your shirts up to the top button. He's like, you used to
shut up,
drink and
fool.
do a lot of drugs. He's like, you thought this one fool was your dad, but it was this other fool. He's
That
like,
sounds pretty
yeah.
Mexican,
He's like, you're
fool.
Mexican, Holmes. And I was like, all right, what's up? You know? But it was a trip. And like since then, him and I have shared such an amazing relationship. We just spoke at a convention together, the Southern California convention just recently. And like we've been able to like speak together and go to things. And like we went to game 1 of the World Series last year and like got to see Freddie's walk off from the front row. Like just like father. And we're sitting next to a father and a son. And I remember we're connecting with them. We're right there, front row. And this kid's there with his dad and we're saying hi. And the dad's like, yeah, this is his first World Series. This is our first World Series together. And he's like, this is my son. And my dad leans over because he's on the far side. He leans over and says, this is my son. And this is our first World Series. And I'm sitting there like, Dad, shut the fuck up, bro. I'm going to start crying, man. Like all my whole life, every Christmas, my mom, I'm like, yo, I want a dad. Like, what do you want for Christmas? I want a dad.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, like
I can't really produce that.
yo, kiddo, lo siento. And all of a sudden he wrote me after we met at Pine Burger 2 days later. He wrote me a message. He texted me and he said Sunday, because we met on Sunday. He says Sunday was the best day of my life. He goes, my daughter, I have a sister. He's like, my daughter being born and meeting you. And I was like on the couch, inconsolable, like child, like couldn't believe it. And I have this amazing relationship with my dad, who I talked to yesterday and was like, I love you so much. Wow. And we're like, cool, we're getting together in a week so that he can see his grandkid.
God, that's so beautiful.
Wild.
Yeah.
My life is done.
That's crazy, man.
Good.
Crazy.
Yeah. The blessings don't stop.
Yeah.
Tangible evidence of a birth certificate and a death certificate of a man I knew to be my father that I would never have an opportunity to
Yeah.
legally binding.
Yeah.
And here I am, and it was God's got bigger and better plans.
Yeah.
God, it's just so, I think that story is just so incredible, man.
It's pretty magical. Yeah.
It is.
It's pretty
And the
magical.
fact that he's sober in 2 years, more than you, and he's just,
Stellar human.
It's just,
He's such a great guy. His whole crew, they're like, out of all dads, he's like, you got the best. They're like, we love your dad. We've loved him the whole time he's been here. Great human being. And that's all I've experienced.
it's so cool, man.
Couldn't write it any better.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow, man. Yeah. I'm glad we got that story.
Yeah.
That was a good one, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, now that we're all crying.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good, man.
Very
Appreciate you coming out.
cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me out, man.
Yeah,
It's
thank
always
you
good
so
to see
much.
you.
Yeah.